who destroyed their own career within seconds by being an idiot.
One of the managers I work with was visiting a company site in another country. Went to a strip club, and then on to a private room for a lap dance, whatever, etc. As he was traveling on work business, he of course claimed these costs on a company expense line. We never saw him again.
One of the girls in the customer support team at a previous company got absolutely blotto at the Christmas party, did a full strip show on a tabletop in front of all staff and their partners. Got right down to the skin before anyone could yank her down. We came to work the following Monday and her desk was just gone. Not just personal items packed up in a box, but the entire desk had been dismantled and taken out of the CS area. Apparently the CS manager was so furious about the situation that he wanted to send a message that she wasn't just fired, but was to be totally erased from company existence.
This kid I worked with for a week at a sales job who tried to buy drugs off of a customer because, and I quote, "I don't know. They looked like they might have drugs, they did not have drugs. But they did have the number to corporate."
Slobodan Jankovic, basketball ball player, who in a fit of temper during a game, following a referee's decision, smashed his head against a concrete pillar for the backboard and paralyzed himself in seconds. The video is hard to watch. A moment's rage and a lifetime's regret.
FBI agent that did the backflip in a bar, dropped his gun, grabbed it, negligent discharge. Someone was hit but lived, arrested, prosecuted, and terminated.
At executive at Campbell's for saying that their food is for poor people while someone was recording.
A shop floor employee ended his 25-year career when he told his supervisor that he was going home and getting my shotgun, and I'm going to show you how fucking serious I am. He then proceeded to leave, at which point the police were called, and when he showed back up, he was arrested. And yeah, he had his loaded shotgun in the car. What was he so pissed about? That mandatory overtime coincided with the opening day of fishing season, and he wasn't allowed to use PTO to go fishing. Well, he missed 6 opening days of fishing season for that one, because that's how long he spent in prison.
Missouri Congress candidate Todd Akin using the term legitimate rape around 2012 on the campaign trail. Basically smoked his entire political career in about 2 seconds.
People on the Coldplay Kiss Cam.
The white lady who called the cops on a black man who was bird watching in a public park and asked her to put her dog on a leash. When she called the police, she was screaming about a black man trying to get me. And he was this nerdy-looking guy who watches birds. She had a very lucrative job at Franklin Templeton Investments. She was fired.
I was a second-year professor in physics when I flunked the starting center from the university basketball team, even after a meeting with the athletic director, the dean, my department head, and the university president. I stuck to my guns. It laid me off 4 months later. I had to become a programmer. I was taking intro to astronomy.
That woman who tweeted that she was flying to Africa and she hoped she didn't get AIDS. She turned off her phone and when she landed, she saw that her life exploded.
Former coworker. Used to work for municipal government. He went on a sexist tirade against a co-op student who was the daughter of an elected representative. Terminated with cause within an hour.
That YouTuber who made his whole personality, his wife, then cheated on her with an employee.
Gerald Ratner owned a ton of low-cost jewelry shops in the UK and over 1,000 in the US. Ratner made a speech addressing a conference of the Institute of Directors at the Royal Albert Hall on 23 April 1991. During the speech, he commented, "We also do cut glass sherry decanters complete with 6 glasses on a silver-plated tray that your butler can serve you drinks on, all for £4.95. People say, how can you sell this for such a low price? I say, because it's total crap." He compounded this by going on to remark that one of the sets of earrings was cheaper than a prawn sandwich from Marks & Spencer's, but I have to say the sandwich will probably last longer than the earrings. The company lost $500 million in value within days as shares plummeted, and he left the following year.
This probably doesn't count since the career in this case hadn't started yet, but a couple dudes at Comic-Con burned a pretty valuable bridge. Guy was taking an interest in some artwork that he thought was very good. When he inquired about it, they were reportedly pretty rude to him and asked him to leave. They were waiting on some other friends. Guy that inquired left a very short tweet about it later, referencing the interaction and saying it was too bad because their work was pretty good. I googled his name. He was a VP of animation at Marvel Comics.
Todd Akin was running for Senate R in Missouri, said that if a woman was raped, she could will herself not to get pregnant.
The UK jewelry guy who compared his products unfavorably to a Sainsbury's prawn sandwich on camera.
Gurmikilov Slipmanchuk, the guy who threw a rock at an endangered seal in Hawaii. People told him not to. He said, "I'm rich, I can afford the fine," and did it anyway. He got a beat down for it, it's all on camera, and the guy who beat him up received a formal award from the island. He apparently owns a small business, which is likely to struggle.
A lady who got a job at NASA and tweeted at the National Space Council overseer to kiss her ass.
I don't think she destroyed her career, but she certainly got fired. A colleague took a week off for a personal emergency and posted pictures of herself in Hawaii on social media.
Anthony Weiner sent pics of his cock out, resigned from Congress. And forgiven by the public, about to be mayor of NYC, then it comes out he's sexting teens. Double canceled.
Those 2 Northwest Airlines pilots that overflew their destination by like an hour before the cabin crew asked what was going on.
deputy I knew was at his graduation party. Tradition is to invite the training staff who usually only stay for a few hours so the new deputies can let off some steam. This ding-dong decided to moon the staff and their spouses. Forgot he was on a 1-year probation after graduation. He was fired after showing the staff and spouses his asshole and balls.
I work as a firefighter paramedic. A couple of EMTs I worked with went to paramedic school and got fired, and had their licenses revoked by the state for forging signatures on their paperwork. They had to get signatures verifying the hours they worked from the hospital staff, where they did clinical practice, and a few of them forgot to get some signatures. They got caught because an instructor found a sheet of paper one of them accidentally turned in with some other papers, where they had been practicing said signatures. What's super dumb is that they did the hours, they just forgot the signatures. All it would have taken was a call to the hospital clinical coordinator, and the papers could have been signed properly. But they decided to forge it, and they lost their jobs over it. They'll also never work anywhere as firefighters or EMTs or paramedics, because it's basically impossible to get certified again if any state revokes your cards.
I wouldn't say he was an idiot per se, but Jeb Bush is defeated. Please clap was pretty much the end of his political career.
Ashley Simpson with the SNL lip syncing incident.
Kristen Gray. She wrote an ebook on how she and her partner moved to Bali illegally by overstaying her visa to basically live the rich and pampered life, because she's a rich American compared to Indonesian citizens. She promoted all over Twitter and got her ass deported.
Nico Harrison in the Luka trade. The previous owner of the Dallas Mavericks spent a lot of time and money building around their star player and generational talent, Luka Doncic. This effort and years of building around Luka got the Dallas Mavericks to the NBA Finals. Next year, that owner sold the team. Nico got the new owner to agree to trade him off for a host of reasons, one of which is believed to be a personal grudge. Normally, a player of Luka's caliber would be worth his weight in players and future draft picks due to a bidding war that would happen by teams that want him. Instead, Nico kept his availability a complete secret, didn't shop around, and sent him to the LA Lakers in a trade composed of him and 2 other players for Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and a pick. Nico said that we should trust his vision and that this trade would make Dallas a winning team, and that they are in win-now mode despite trading off the linchpin of their team. The trade was heavily scrutinized because Luka was 26 and had years of great play ahead of him. Anthony Davis was a great player, but he is in the twilight of his career and had been so injury-prone that he'd earned a host of nicknames, such as Day to Davis and Street Clothes. AD, wanting to prove everyone wrong, got off to a roaring start with Dallas and displayed one of the most dominant halves we've seen. Then he got injured in the 3rd quarter. 1 year later, AD was only stayed healthy enough to play 30 out of some 85-ish games for Dallas, and they're one of the worst teams in the league. The day after the trade, fans would chant "Fire Nico." He was so hated that he'd have to hide in the player tunnels to watch games. Team legend Dirk Nowitzki was so upset by the trade that he went to the LA Lakers season opener the next year instead of Dallas. His career was effectively over as soon as the trade went live. No one would want him after working out that kind of secret deal, and once the new owner figured things out, ticket prices dropped into double digits except games versus the Lakers, where the cheapest seat was still $300 plus and the fans would boo their own team and cheer Luka. He was gone.
I spent most of my career working for a huge life insurance company, and back in the early 90s, we went through a big restructuring of the sales territories. To kick off the process, we attended a regional meeting at a posh conference center just outside of DC. Our agency's top producer was on the program, scheduled to deliver a 15-20-minute address on a new product the company was rolling out. He started his presentation with a couple innocent jokes, then morphed into a very blue monologue, including jokes about sleeping with policyholders. He said later that he enjoyed the laughs his first couple jokes got him,